Celebrities are throwing shade at Diddy for his totally offbeat stunts he pulls with his co-stars.
Taking the shit off. Now, I could say this because it's not something I didn't say to him. Puff.
Did you hear what Jamie said? Even his student Usher is in a tight corner and on the verge of spilling the well-protected secrets that were kept away from the public till date.
Usher look like he fresh off a goddamn plane. Usher
Fresh off the garden stage. That's my brother right here from day one. We used to wake up and, pause, but like, check this out. Back in the days when he was like 10 and I was a little bit older, his older brother, we used to fight over the Frosted Flakes. You know what I'm saying? Before pause was invented. You know what I'm saying? But it's my brother for real. We used to actually wrestle off of the Frosted Flakes because he used to always get up early with me. Now he's one of the richest stars in the world. And
Hang tight, because you are about to find out how celebrities expose Diddy for what really happened at his parties and hearing Mr. Puff Daddy's revelations, which are going to freak you out. Celebs like Jamie Foxx.
Yelling at this dude, right? And then like about literally 8 weeks later, I'm watching BET.
Snoop Dogg.
He normally does. He sampled a few things that I had in there, a couple of vegetables and...
Justin Bieber.
All right, so I'm gonna be driving this next year.
Yeah, when you get 16, you come down there, you gotta, wear your seat.
I'm 15. You could ride in the passenger seat. I got my permit. Not yet.
No.
All right, 16.
You're not ready.
16.
Let's slow down. Let's slow.
Handled this head on. However, Diddy unquestionably slams the claims. While the fan theories always emerge to the surface whenever such big claims are being made against a star, well, what are fans for otherwise?
Is there has been negative propaganda put out about me that's not true and has really tried to stain my legacy. I've always been a person, I don't like to get in just talking people's business.
Some say all this seems like a big setup, while others say it's a ruse and are trying to get their fans to hate on Diddy. Whatever their intention was, now the spotlight is on all of them, especially on Diddy. Are all these accusations for real, or did they all just cook things up? Jamie Foxx, a man known for his charismatic smile and honesty, has lately been spilling about Diddy's bash in interviews and to the press. Well, we all know that Jamie and Diddy are BFFs, and that's one solid proof that Jamie has undoubtedly been invited to the parties, which I think is more than enough to get the inside scoop of his parties.
Puff comes and big party, it's like 2,000. Puff is there. And it's all about him. And I'll never forget, he got mad at me a little bit because I would follow him and I would actually follow him with a camera because at that time...
Sounds pretty legit, doesn't it? Diddy's fans did not cut Jamie any slack for trash talking about him. However, things squared away when they took a closer look at the allegations.
Yo, Puff, I should document this shit, right? Yo, what's up, Playboy? what you talking about? I said, no, I should get this, man. You, Fonz for the whole nine. He says, yeah, let him through. Excuse me. So I get the, but at that time, it wasn't like the little camera y'all got in. It was the big intrusive Canon. I had a battery pack. Hold on, man. Let me change the pack. Put my light on here. Do that again, Puff. Do that again. I missed that one. Do that again. Put the pack. So I started following him. So I followed him the whole time. I remember watching Puff at the Beverly Hills Hotel. I'm filming this. And it's a pool party that is ridiculous, man. And I look up and I see Dr. Ruth. I don't know if you know who that is. The sex lady. The sex lady. I see Dr. Ruth. I said, Miss Ruth, could you please come over here? This guy by the name of Sean P. Diddy Combs. I need you to come meet him. I need this for my camera. Dr. Ruth and Puff at the Beverly Hills Hotel pool dancing, doing their thing, right? And you know what they dancing to? Over in the corner, God bless, is Heavy D, Andre Harrell, and they listening to a demo. You know what the demo is? Right.
The deeper they saw, the dirtier it went. Everyone's aware of Diddy's sexual
is that it's alleged that he used to mess with a lot of underage boys, and allegedly Diddy tried to...
It has been a hot topic for ages, since the 90s to be precise. Although that is not a problem, it is Gen Z, you all. What does that have to do with vexing other celebrities at the parties? Well, if we date back the 90s, Tupac Shakur knew all the ins and outs of all the scheming and shenanigans going at Diddy's. He stepped up to fill us all up with the details enclosed behind the doors of his bedroom. According to the reports and accusations of Tupac, Diddy is said to have been inappropriate with young boys. Tupac asserted that he dug in more to find out darker secrets to warn him and did not want young children in his presence. Although it was not proved to be true initially, people later got a sneak peek of his true self that has been veiled for quite a long time. Yes, after a couple years, it is said that Diddy has been hosting gay rituals and taking pure advantage of young artists.
Man, we are not animals. It's not like we're gonna see them and rush them and jump on them. If they see us and they want drama, we're gonna definitely bring it like only Dev Row could bring it. But we here as businessmen.
He puts up a front of guiding them, but instead impels them to take part in the gay rituals that he conducts in his scandalous parties and instill his sinister thoughts in them. The fans are convinced that Tupac had way more to share, although the Hollywood and the man with big connections, Mr. Puff Daddy, would likely have taken action just as he did with Jamie for disclosing the classified revelations. Now you are probably mixed up now. What actions? And most importantly, what do I mean when I say classified? Well, hang on tight because things are just about to get heated. If we rewind to the scene that happened approximately 9 months ago, during the month of April 2023, Jamie was admitted in the hospital due to covert illness.
We don't even entertain nonsense, my brother. So we're not even going to go there, with all due respect, but I appreciate you as a journalist asking.
Fans, however, raised an eyebrow suspecting that Diddy was involved, given the apparent connection. For a matter of fact, this is not something new. Attacks, assault, and shootings were quite common around Diddy, and it was clear as day at that point.
Jamie's movie partner actress Cameron Diaz has been seen filming.
Now getting back to the secrets he dished up to the public, it is alleged that he has tried to spill the beans in various interviews.
And appreciate your prayers. The family asked for privacy during.
However, if you look closely in the interviews, you would notice that Jamie is figuratively locked up by the throat and in a tight spot. Fans naturally assume that this is because he does not want to expose himself in the process of revealing all the story about him. Fans question Jamie furiously, asking if he wasn't into any of the rituals, practices, or partying as such, then what really is the purpose of him showing up to Diddy's? Yes, they are besties and all, but do you think you would show up to your besties if you noticed such bizarre doings of your friend?
Made rumors. This has something to do with Jamie's recent revelations about Diddy's wild parties.
After a while, Diddy was accused legally for certain reasons, and the necessary action was taken by the FBI. This was exactly when Jamie bit by bit started cutting ties with Diddy. Fans presume that it is a clever way of getting himself off of any trouble or loopholes, which clearly says that Jamie is probably having a guilt trip just as much as Diddy. Diddy feeling I am quite not sure considering the other activities he has been involved in. Well, light up your rooms now because things are going to get quite dark. Diddy, who was under the glitzy arena of money and fame, decided to mentor Usher, who has just entered the limelight. However, he was being scandalous, stepped beyond and behaved more than just an ordinary mentor would. His intriguing details about his relationship with Usher is going to make your jaw drop.
I got a chance to see some things.
Yeah, but you were 13. What were you seeing?
I went there to see the lifestyle.
Right.
And I saw it.
My lifestyle is so different than everyone else's that, I don't know if marriage would be conducive to me being sitting here with you right now and having, my own stuff.
Brother right here from day one, we used to wake up and, pause, but like, check this out.
He said it's time, it's magic time. It's
Usher was all but an emerging star who was in need of a guide and a role model. So his parents decided to send him to Diddy's, which doesn't sound like an ideal choice any parent would make, considering he is nothing but a stranger to Usher. However, Usher found himself settling at Diddy's place, the so-called haven, when he was merely 14 years old. Would you send your child to such a mentor if you had to? Do you think the fans and the press are going to let it slide? Well, they reacted quite angrily on this, and many absurdly stated him as being creepy. Fans question why was Usher sent to live with a man of age all alone? Keeping in mind that Usher was barely a teenager. While living with, he witnessed strange and outrageous things that a young boy like him could not digest. People called Diddy the groomer because of the fact that he was known to do so, also with Usher. However, Usher was quite not sure of the situation because he had no idea of the tricks Diddy managed to pull, and he simply needed a mentor. Hold up, because this is just the beginning. Diddy once accidentally slipped this piece of information which shocked everyone, which made people confirm the fact he legit was a groomer. He admitted that Usher and Diddy used to share a bed and had pillow fights back then. Now that is blatantly creepy and very suspicious. But when he soon realized it was too much information, he tried to switch topics, but fans evidently did not let that slip. There was utterly no reason for a teenager to not have his own bed, but remembering the fact that he has a thing for young boys, it tallies with the truth. When Usher was talking about the parties held at Diddy's, he reveals that although he did not understand what was on at the party, he at least spilled the guest list. Big stars like the Biggie Smalls, Lil Kim Craig, Faith Evans were some of the popular stars who always showed up to his parties, or should I call it, secret sensational getaway. He also mentions that his parents were totally unaware of the situation. They probably would have done something about it otherwise. Or who knows? Well, living with Diddy came with a cost. Usher was not left alone or behind, but was sent to the rapper flavor camp. Here, young boys were not only mentored, but were used by Diddy. The young artists were exposed to such an environment where they had no other choice but face the music, which was pretty much the situation with Usher. The fact that Usher's mother was aware about Diddy's flavor camp situation baffles everyone. Ed Lover once confessed on radio that he witnessed Usher drinking champagne at the bar, and he was accompanied by Diddy. Yes, he was an underage child drinking at the bar in the VIP section. However, Ed did not realize it was Usher until his album dropped. Ed was initially astonished to see a kid drink at a bar. I mean, who would let a child do that? Rumors have it that Diddy gave the 15-year-old Usher STD. Things obviously went beyond hands when news as such started to spread like a wildfire. The point that many actually caught Diddy being intimate with Usher makes this just more than a speculation or a mere rumor. However, this has never been proven or outrightly spoken in public. Usher, however, always felt uncomfortable when he stood close with Diddy during interviews, and it was pretty evident. But Usher never let anything slip in detail. In fact, he praises and gives credit to Diddy for his success in the career as a singer, composer, a businessman, and a dancer. Diddy might have guided and helped him with Usher's career, but he still wasn't the ideal mentor, was he? If that is not enough proof, then hear what Roger Bonds got to say. Diddy's personal bodyguard professed that he saw Diddy run undressed out of a hotel room with another young artist. He asserted the fact that he witnessed this himself, and that he doesn't have to lie about it. I mean, why would he throw shade on Diddy unless it is true? Stay right where you are, because we are only halfway in. He had business with Justin Bieber as well. Dating back to 2009, when Justin was 15 and Diddy was 40, they made a video together for YouTube, for which Justin and Diddy were to hang out for 48 hours. Now, the real deal here is, why does a 40-year-old man want to hang out with a teenager? Justin, unaware of Diddy's antics, was there and spent the entire 2 days with him. Diddy mentioned that Justin was to receive expensive gifts and other things that a 15-year-old would not typically think of getting, although he does not say what it is. But later in the future videos, it is clearly noticeable how uncomfortable Justin is around Diddy. As an audience, though we don't have the proof of their whereabouts, and the business behind doors can still make approximate judgments of what could have possibly happened, considering Diddy's previous interactions with young boys. However, Justin did not say anything about Diddy's behavior back then, considering Diddy was a big star with a lot of connections, and Justin was new to the industry. Justin was too young to even comprehend what Diddy's notions were, which made the video utterly unsettling to watch. Well, besides Justin, not even adults knew Diddy's intentions. According to the others and the artist's parents, Diddy was some kind of mentor who could get the best of their children and eventually present them to the industry, but little did they know that Diddy was more than just a mentor. But fortunately, Justin's mom soon found out about Diddy's behavior with underage children and his motives with Justin. Justin's mother, Patty Mallett, doesn't stop there but speaks out on behalf of his son and also for all the other vulnerable children Diddy preys on. According to Mrs. Mallett's confessions, Diddy tried to lure Justin with immense attention, expensive gifts, and luxury cars. Well, Diddy's play does not end there. He even forced Justin to take drugs like cocaine and marijuana and pressured him to drink champagne, just like he did with Usher at his parties he fully funded and hosted. She also adds that she had to take initiative and intrude before things could get out of hand. Poor Justin was not only approached by Diddy, but by several others from the industry. He was also asked inappropriate questions during interviews. While he managed to stay calm during some of them, while in the others, he outrightly asserted his opinions about how wrong the questions were for a young boy like him. All of these situations and experiences at different events and stages of his life put him in a treacherous position. That was when he started doing drugs. He began taking drugs when he was 19, and in his recent posts, he confessed the deep truth about his addiction and how it ruined his life. According to Justin, his behavior after he started taking drugs was totally altered, meaning he was depressed quite often, he was not as cheerful and jovial as he was as a boy, and his resentment towards people, and especially women, gradually spiked up. He adds that he was hiding in a shell, and mentioned that it made eventually a weaker person, which he never was to begin with. The drugs made him a person that no one would ever want to be, especially when he was abusive in his relationships and never prioritized people and their feelings. However, in later years, he recovered from his addiction and is now a better person, happy and married. Diddy's malevolence doesn't stop there. During the years 2007 to 2018, Diddy was married for the second time to Cassandra Ventura.
Posted a photo of a diamond ring.
So far, you have seen Diddy being an unfaithful friend and mentor, but now you are going to know about this entire storyline as a husband. I suppose you can already imagine the kind of husband he'd be, but knowing it all might give you a vivid picture. Cassie sued Diddy in federal court for various reasons, while rape and decade-long abuse being the prime grounds for her allegation on Diddy. Cassie states that she has been in an abusive relationship for over 15 years. It is said that Diddy also hit her multiple times and forced her to be in places and situations she is remotely interested in. Taking care of a partner's personal belongings, documents, or sometimes even decisions can be considered healthy only if it is done the right way with consent. However, Cassie accuses Diddy for taking control of her entire life and making her a woman with no identity. He goes a step beyond by not even letting her choose her own clothing. That sounds absolutely ridiculous. I mean, who would want to be in such a relationship? And that was when Cassie decided to go legally on him, sue him for what he did, and divorce Diddy. But Diddy is not an ordinary man with average schemes and notions going on in his mind. Unraveling the rest of his entire history is going to leave you speechless.
Accusing Diddy of a cycle of abuse, violence, and trafficking during their relationship. Cassie alleges that Diddy exploited his influence.
We all know how much 50 Cent despises Diddy and people involved with him. Although the other artists are timid to openly reveal the secrets of Diddy, 50 Cent knows what he is doing. He doesn't step back. If anyone is actually scared, it is Diddy, which however is going to change the perception of him engaging in certain activities considered awful. 50 Cent has been recently dropping back-to-back bombs on Diddy and his mates, which is going viral among the fans. 50 Cent is receiving immense appreciation and positivity for revealing the crooks of the music industry without any disregard. Very recently, he announced that he is planning on releasing a documentary which unveils the secret lurking in the shadows. He says this documentary will address Diddy's sexual assault charges and focus about what happened in his infamous parties. The fans are eagerly awaiting this, considering no one would actually give Diddy away. Perhaps this documentary will give them strength and space to do so, because I am sure everyone is aware of the fact that there is just more than one man's perspective to this. If you remember the song Too Old For Me, then you'll know the young boy from that song, Lil Jerome. When he was a debut artist in the industry, he was barely 13. However, if you wonder why Lil Jerome has gone MIA, this is the story in a nutshell for you. He was new to the industry, and like usual, Diddy was his mentor. His first album was a success. However, like we know, Diddy's not an ideal mentor or role model to anyone, especially to children of that age. Diddy coerces Jerome to partake in activities he was not into, and apparently groomed him too. Later, when Jerome hit puberty, his voice was not the same anymore, which was a setback on releasing the new album. The songs with his new voice were not as successful as the previous albums. Diddy wasted no time. He eventually moved on after learning that Jerome has no more potential and cut the supply of funds from his end. Lil Jerome tried to renew his contract with other labels in the industry, and every company went ghost on Jerome. He was young and had no more business. He did not waste a moment looking for an opportunity in the industry and took off to finish his undergrad and study various languages like Italian, Spanish, and more. Well, he was lucky enough to have a wholesome closure to his tale. However, it was not the same with everyone. Business with Diddy could either fuel your career or sabotage it from the very core. To feud with Diddy is something no one would ever want to, and people who tried to talk about it have almost faced very bad endings. However, people are persistently blacklashing Diddy for his actions, but with his fame and money, there is no way he could actually get caught for his allegations. But It is for sure that there would be significant differences in Hollywood and the music industry if he were locked up.